You can fly with a firearm legally. You just have to know how to do it, and I'm going to tell you how to do it in this video. All right, guys, so I just got back from vacation, and while this is fresh on my mind, I want to give you all my perspective on how you can fly with a firearm. Like I said, I just got back from vacation. We went down to Florida, and the key point of this is to know where you're going. If you're going into places that don't allow you to carry, you're probably not going to be able to take it with you. I am not a legal advisor. I'm not a lawyer. Do not take this as legal advice. I'm just telling you my perspective, and I'm going to show you how to do that and put it to where you can get through TSA a little quicker and a little easier. So let me set you up here, and I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, so you can fly legally with a firearm and your entire EDC if you follow these rules. There's about 5 to 6 different rules that the TSA and the federal government allows you to do, or that you have to follow to do this. And it's very simple. It's not going to be a long video. I just wanted to show you how I did it. And also I'm going to tell you a horror story that happened to me when I was flying across the country, away from everything and everybody. And I'll explain that here in a little bit. But really, the main idea is that you can fly with a firearm as long as you follow these rules. The number one rule is that you can fly with it as long as it's in a hard case like this and it's locked with locks like this. You can use your pistol case that you bought the pistol in. That is a thing, but I wouldn't recommend that because it's not as secure as something like this. So this is basically a case that has everything in it that just fell out. It is a Pelican case, okay? And you don't have to buy Pelican. You can literally buy Harbor Freight. You can buy numerous cases in a bunch of different places. I'm not here to tell you what case to buy. I'm just telling you that you need to have it in a hard-sided locked case. The main thing you do is you go in there and you say, hey guys, after you already have this set up, which I'll show you how to do, you go into the terminal and you go to your airlines. It's a good thing to look at your airline's rules. And because some airlines want you to do it differently, it's always good to follow those rules. But the federal laws are all still the same. So the main thing is set this up the night before, put this in a locked hard case. So when you go in there, it's very easy to do, and it's very easy to show them what you got if they want to see it and stuff. So basically, I took my EDC, which is knife, tourniquet, flashlight, and my pistol. And I took all that stuff and the ammo along with a backup. So I took a Glock 19, I took a Glock 26 as a backup, and I put all that stuff in here, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. So with this case, the easiest thing to do is to basically have your stuff in here separated already, okay? You can take extra mags, you can take ammo, you just have to have it done a certain way. This is the way I do it. Like I said, I'm gonna show you how I do it just so it's easier. I've had nothing but good things come from this. Now I have had a case where I put a lot of the stuff in there and I basically just kind of let it roll around and stuff, and that was not good because they wanted to look at it, they wanted you to open it, all this sort of stuff. When I do it like this, they have never wanted me to open it and show it to them because they can see it already, okay? So they're gonna run this stuff through an x-ray machine, and you wanna make that as easy as possible for them to see without them having to tell you to open it. So what I did was, you can take your pistol, you can take the ammo, you can take everything, but it has to be separated. Your pistol cannot be loaded at all. It has to be completely unloaded and secure. So what you do is, I have a firearm with a light on it, so I make sure that the light is not able to be actuated in this, first of all, and I always lock it back like this so they know it's open and secure. On the bottom piece, on this case, I put the foam in, I put the magazines in, I have the ammo in its original box, like this. It's a good thing to keep these around just in case for stuff like this. Or you can have them in hard-sided cases like this. I keep it in the original box. I took a couple of extra magazines with me just in case so I could have them if something was to go awry, say it hit the fan while I was out there or whatever, I had a little extra. But basically, I put all my self-defense ammo in the actual boxes. I took a couple of extra rounds with me, a couple extra magazines, and I put my fat tack holsters in there as well. Now all this stuff is on the bottom. It's separate from the pistols themselves. I take the foam, I put it on top of here just like this, and I put my firearm in there just like that, unloaded, so they can see that it's open and secure and it's not loaded. Everything else that goes with it is underneath it. I took my knife, I put it in there as well, and I took my other pistol that I have on me right here, and I put it here unlocked or unloaded and locked back also. And then you clamp this thing down so that nothing moves. You want it to be tight. You want the foam to be actually really tight so that nothing moves around. That's what I did, and that's how you get through it a lot quicker. So the night before, you set this up just like that with your locks already in the holes. If it has a hole, it needs a lock. That's not a rule. That's just my rule. If it has a hole, it needs a lock because they don't want this thing to be able to be opened. You can use a pistol case that you bought it in, but the thing is that it can be manipulated pretty easily. These Pelican cases, or Harbor Freight cases, or wherever you get them from, cannot be manipulated and cracked open. You know, and that's what they don't want. They don't want you to be able to get to this firearm or anybody else, which is the reason why you need to have the keys to your stuff. You go in there with this already locked, set up just like that. You go to the counter and you say, I'm here to declare an unloaded, secured firearm. That allows them to know right offhand you have a firearm that is secured and unloaded and it's already in a locked, hard-sided case. Has to be a hard-sided case. You go in there, you put it on the desk, they weigh it. Sometimes they'll want you to open it, which is why you have the keys. Sometimes they don't. If it's packed like this and they can x-ray it, because that's what they're going to do inevitably, then they don't have to ask you to open it. If they can see everything is open and everything is secured and nothing is loaded, they will allow you to just cruise right on through. Now, when you take this, you can check this as a bag by itself, which is what I had to do on the way back because we gathered things while we were on vacation and our stuff was a little bit overweight. So I basically checked this by itself on the way back. When you do that, they will give you a little affidavit like this, and they will either have a tag. I actually flew Allegiant, and probably the cheapest flight there, but hey, it works, and they did it pretty well. I had no problems with this airline at all. Put the tag on here just like this. Some places will tape a tag or tape an affidavit right on the box if you're declaring it, or some places like Delta will have you open it and they'll put the card inside the actual box itself. But Allegiant was really good. I had no problem with them. Make you sign the affidavit, put it on the case, they'll take it back with them, they'll x-ray it. Sometimes they'll ask you to stay. Like the first time I flew on the way there, they told me to stick around. They were going to x-ray it, and they did. I stuck around for a second, gave me a thumbs up, went on to TSA. Don't take this to the TSA. You have to go to the airline's counter and do this. All you have to do is follow the certain rules. And you have an unloaded, secured firearm with all your mags empty, the ammo in its certain boxes, and you have it very simple and easy for them to see. You go in there and you say, hey, I have to declare an unloaded, secured firearm. They put the tag on it, and you're ready to roll. Just don't go in there being all nervous and stuff like that. Just go in there, be normal. Hey, first of all, don't go in there and be like, hey, I got a firearm, or hey, I have a gun or something like that. You don't want to do that. Go in there, be normal. People do this every day. It's not a big deal. They deal with it all the time. It's not a big deal. If you're flying from a place where you can carry and to a place where you can carry, it's not a big deal. Now, if you're going to states where their rules on their land is different, that's a whole different situation. I can't really comment on that because I am not a legal advisor. I am not a lawyer. Don't take legal advice from me. I just stay out of places that I can't carry. That's just me. You do you. Those rules are different. I don't know about them. I just know that if you know that you can carry where you're going to, it's a whole lot easier. And that is completely okay to do. Now, the horror story that I had happen to me, we were flying to Texas for the channel. We went there for the Gundies. Happened 4 or 5 years ago. Flew down to Texas. I had a bigger case. It was me, Josh, and Brandon at the time. And we went down there, and when I flew with Delta, they checked it, okay, and they opened it up. Probably they opened it up because it was a bigger case with not a lot of foam in it, and everything was kind of moving around. They opened it up, they checked it, everything was secure. They gave me the affidavit, they put it on the flight. And then when we got there, there was a huge problem. They had lost my bag. I don't know what happened to it. They didn't know what happened to it, except for, actually, that's not true. They did know what happened to it. It didn't come on my flight. It was coming on the flight afterwards. And so basically we were in Texas for a whole long time without any pistols. We were down there near drive tanks, and it was near the border, and just it was wild. We were there unprotected basically, and it really sucked. It was kind of scary because we didn't know when we were going to get it back. And then eventually they called us and said, hey, we're going to give this stuff back to you because we're actually going to bring it to you, drive it to you. The problem was, I told them, I was like, we're an hour and a half away from the airport, you know, so how are you going to get it to me? We're going to bring it to you. So sure enough, they did. 2 o'clock in the morning, they met us at our hotel, and they did get us our bags back. But stuff like that can happen. I guess you just got to be prepared for it in your mind. I don't know, kind of sucked. But the gist of it is that you can fly with your EDC. You can fly with firearms as long as you do it correctly. Have it locked up with locks that you have the key to. You can do combination locks, but I would suggest doing key locks. That way you can keep a key on you. They actually prefer that. They tell you that in the TSA rules. Just follow the rules. You can go to any TSA approved website, or you can go to the airline's website. They have all their rules on there. I suggest you looking at the airlines that you're flying on's rules so you know what they expect. You can do it. You just have to do it correctly. So I hope this helps. If you can support us, go to Fat Tack and pick up all the stuff there. Also check me out on Instagram, Black Diamond Josh, over there, doing a lot of stuff on Instagram. Really appreciate you guys watching, and we will see you guys in the next one.